What is up? Thank you for coming to my channel, Prison POV. Right off the bat, big love to the homeboy Sandman at Instagram at Sandman2788. He monetized my channel for me. Thank you, brother. I owe you one. I got your back like a bra strap. Believe that. Alright, so when I got out from doing my 4-year term, I paroled. I had a house waiting for me that I had inherited while I was down. Moving into this house, absconding, of course. Only made it a couple months out there till the tipsters ratted me out. The parole comes knocking. Comes to my house, raids it. I go to jail. What they give me though was the ICDTP program, which is 60 days in county and 30 days in like a little drug rehab program. I did the 60 days and then I did not go to the drug program. I did not want to go back to my house because I knew the cops knew about it. So I ended up letting one of the homeboys move in. This dude's done a gang of time. He's an older dude. He's a white Southsider. He has a big ass bag of heroin. He's the connection. I let him move in my pad. And then I ended up going to jail pretty much a couple weeks later. I'm back in jail. He's putting money in my books a little bit here and there. He's keeping my old lady well. They gave me the ICDTP program again. So I'm back in for another 60 days. Get out. They sent me to a program. I was going to try to do the 30-day program. They sent me to a place called Legacy. I was there for a couple days, and I was like, oh, hell no. Some shit went down. I said, fuck it, I split. Again, I did not want to go back to my house that my homeboy, the connection, was living in. Well, for one, he was living there. But I could have got him to move or whatever. I moved in. But I'm absconding again. The cops know about that pad. I can't go there. So I go somewhere else. He's breaking me off, nickel and diming here and there. He's giving me this and that. And then finally, at the first of the month, I've been out a couple of weeks. I tell him, hey, homeboy, you just got to break me off a chunk, cover the month's rent. I mean, it's a nice 3-bedroom house, almost 2,000 square foot, split wing. It was a nice pad. I said, you have to break me off 10 grams or something for the month. He goes, all right. So he met me at a store, gives me the 10 grams. I muscle a big-ass shot in the parking lot. I hoop the rest, and I take off. Go to my old lady's pad. On the way there, I nod out and run into the back of a cable van. Now, usually, I would take off running, but I couldn't leave because my truck, I had a Silverado on 24s. It shut off when I hit him. I couldn't get to start. I was blocked in by other vehicles, so I couldn't leave in my truck. Oftentimes, in this situation, I would just take off running. Like I said, I was real loaded, and I was like, screw it, man, it's going to go to jail. But I took some comfort in the fact that I had 10 grams in my ass. I knew I was going to come up fat, and I knew I was going to get that much time. Something happened, though. Something happened between that wreck and when I got to county jail, because I was not all right when I got there. Straight gonzo. Now, I don't know if the wreck did something to me, messed my mind up, messed my head up, or like one of the homeboys in the comment section told me, he said he lost his mind also in county jail when he was coming off, what pill did he said? He said Xanax or something. But yeah, you get strung out those Xannies and you go in county jail kicking them, mess you up. I was taking a lot of Clozapine, so it could have been coming off the Clozapine that messed me up. But I was, whatever the case, I was jacked up. I get in there, right away I got this cellie. It's an old Southsider dude. He's there, he's had a bunch of DUIs. So I get in there with him, and he starts writing a letter to his son. I was like, yeah, where's your son? He's like, he's at the Legacy Men's Home. But when I was out, when I did that 60 days, and I tried to do the program, like I said, before I took off, it was at the Legacy. So I was at Legacy Men's Home, on the streets for a couple of weeks, got in that wreck, I'm in county jail. This dude's like, I'm writing my son a Legacy. I think I'm still at Legacy. I go, you're writing her son? I go, you fool, where do you think we're at, bro? We're at Legacy. But in my mind, Legacy is a home that converted into like a men's home. I'm sure you guys have seen them. So that neighborhood's a house, I got a bunch of bunk beds in all the rooms and shit. Now this is a pod, D-pod, county jail. Obviously it's not a home, but in my mind, Legacy, the house was full, and right next door they had this pod full of cells. We're like in the overflow. So we're sitting in these cells, waiting to get cleared to go into the house. I'm like, dude, what do you mean you're writing your son a Legacy? I was like, we're at Legacy. He's like, no, we're at 17635 Industrial Farm Road. We're in Pretrial D-pod. I was like, what? I thought he was out of his mind. Another thing about Legacy, they had a big ass bowl of chips in the kitchen. You can just go and help yourself to the chips all day. So since how I thought we were Legacy, I was walking around D-pod telling everybody, man, there's a big ass bowl of chips around here somewhere. I was like, as soon as I find these chips, man, I'm gonna get my grub on. Everyone's like, yeah, bro, you let us know. You let us know if you see that big bowl of chips. I was on the hunt, man. I was always talking about a fucking big bowl of chips. It didn't exist. So one of the first things that happens, though, some cellies with this dude. I was on the top bunk, obviously he had the bottom. I just took my mat and got on the floor, because I wasn't sleeping. So I would just stay up, and I would just kick it right down the floor. Another thing about this 10 grams I brought in, I gave it all away. I didn't sell none of it. Now that is way out of my character. I coulda, shoulda, woulda, went in there and came up fat, but no, I gave it all away. To the point even at Wasco Reception, I was on D yard. You'll start off on D yard, and everyone eventually goes over to A yard before they go to the main line. En route to A yard, I saw a Southsider. I recognized him. I don't remember talking to him much. I recognized him. I was like, hey, boy, I said, did you get any of that heroin I brought in to pre-trial? He goes, dude, you got me strung out. I was like, what? I'm strung out. Because every time someone would come to my cell and ask for some, I'd give them some. And I didn't charge. It wasn't even tripping. Just gave the shit away. So, I'm up late one night. Like I said, sitting on the floor, my mat. And one of the things, man, when you're in jail, you can't do anything for your people. The only thing you really can do is send them a nice picture. Or if you mail them a letter, you can have someone deck out the envelope. It's pretty common. If you know how to draw or tattoo, you're going to come up fat in jail and prison. That's the best hustle there is to be into art, be able to draw, nice letters, nice writing. You'll stay eating, your locker will be fat, you'll come up, because everybody wants to send their family nice stuff. Now, one thing I had noticed that people do is they'll take a bunch of Kool-Aids, but they'll put very little water in it, so the Kool-Aid will be thick. They'll dip their toothbrush in it, and they'll pull it back, and they'll sling it like that, and they'll splatter. And they'll splatter this the Kool-Aid on the front of the envelope, and give it like a little artsy type look. Some splattered Kool-Aid, looks kind of cool. So I wrote a letter, I can't remember who I wrote a letter to. I'm like, I'm going to do that. Now my cellie had a bunch of Kool-Aid packets up by the sink. I grabbed all of his Kool-Aid packets and his toothbrush. Went and sat down, took my envelope, but I'd never done this before. I didn't know what I was doing. I put way too much water in it. I had this real runny Kool-Aid. I'm dipping the toothbrush in there. I'm like trying to sling it, but it's just, it looks all jacked up. It's a hot mess. Kool-Aid all over the envelope. It wasn't thick enough. It wasn't chunky. It wasn't making the dots. It was just smeared. My cellie gets up in the morning. He sees me sitting there. I got this jacked up envelope covered with Kool-Aid. Kool-Aid all over the floor. He gets up. He's like, Dan, what are you doing? I was like, oh, I'm trying to decorate this envelope. I'm going to mail it out to my peeps. He's like, well, shit, where'd you get the Kool-Aid? I go, from the sink. He's like, oh, that was all my Kool-Aid packets. I was like, oh, my bad. He goes, oh, shit, and you used my toothbrush, too. I was like, oh, fuck, sorry about that. Didn't even realize I wasn't even really tripping on it. And even when he told me that I did that, I didn't really care because I saw it in my mind. I was like, whatever. And he didn't really trip on it either. I think he knew that I wasn't really dealing with the full deck. So he's like, all right, well, you got to get me a new toothbrush. He was kind of mad about that. He's like, do you have an extra toothbrush to give me? I was like, no, but I'll get you one because it's pretty easy. You just get a new fish kit from the cops. They'll give you a little bag. It's got toothbrush and razor and all that shit. Ended up replacing the toothbrush. But he was kind of mad about that. Yes, he was. Anyways, so he leaves. That cell ends up leaving. He goes to the farm. They send him over to the minimum. What was weird, too, is if your cellie leaves, you automatically get one, like, instantly. That night, maybe the next day. But for some odd reason, it's never happened before. It didn't happen after that. I didn't get a cellie for like a week. A whole week in pretrial without a cellie. It's unheard of. In hindsight, looking back, I almost wonder if some of the inmates told the cops, like, you know, don't put nobody in there with them. He's not acting right. Whatever reason, I didn't get a cellie. But when that dude left, went to the minimum, he left me some of his clothes. You're supposed to turn them in, but a lot of times you'll just kick down, leave the homeboys your extra. And he was a bigger guy. He was bigger than me. And so the clothing in there, it's brown, and it's like pajama type, and the shirts are V-neck. It's got a pocket right here. So he left them like, boom, you can have these extra clothes. So I'm sitting in there, and I see this brown shirt, and in my mind, it's a pair of Dickie shorts. Now, over the years, I've had several pair of cut-off brown Dickie shorts. Who hasn't? That's a straight standard gear, man. Cut-off Dickies. So, I see this shirt. It's a brown V-neck shirt. To me, it's a pair of Dickie shorts. So I pull it, I put my legs in, I pull it up, and I put the neck, the V-neck, around my waist. And it's actually secure. Like, it won't fall down. It fits perfect. And the sleeves, I tucked those in. Those are pockets. So now I got me some Dickie shorts on, brown. Homeboy left them to me. I straight came up. I got my pockets right here, and the pocket that says Kern County Jail, I see that down there, but I think it says Dickies. And I'd wear those all over my cell. I mean, I thought I was chilling. I thought I came up fat. People would come, they'd look in. I was like, yeah, dog, I got me these Dickie shorts right here. Homeboy left me. And they would never say shit. They would not correct me or say nothing about it. They're probably thinking, wow. So I had those Dickie shorts. Then another thing, this is when shit started to get serious. So I'm out in the day room one day. Whites and Southsiders and Pisces have their area, their tables, and the blacks have a table or two over here, different side of the day room. There was this black guy sitting at this table. and there was a pinochle deck sitting there. And I walked over by him, and I said, shit, you don't know nothing about that pinochle. He's like, yeah, I sling it. I was like, well, what's up then? Now, you cannot go, as a white dude, you can't go sit down and play pinochle with a black dude. This is the way it is. You can't do it. It's not allowed. If you were to go do it, you'd get corrected really quickly. If you didn't know better, you'd get told no better. If you did know better and did it, you'd be disciplined. I walk over, I tell this black dude, you can't play pinochle. I said, deal him out. He starts dealing him out, shuffling like, what the hell, puzzled looking. I sit down like I'm going to play pinochle with him. This fool gets up and walks away like, oh, hell no. I'm like, yeah, you don't want none? I take the deck and I start shuffling. Now, the dude who has the keys to the pod, I've been knowing him for years. He's a solid-ass dude. His name's Billy. He's a skinhead from Taft. He sees me. He's like, Splinter. He's like, come here, dude. I get up. I go over there. I have like a little moment of clarity. I realize maybe I did fuck up a little bit. Not really realizing how. I don't have the full grasp of it. He's like, what is going on, bro? He's like, I feel like you're heart checking me. I was like, what do you mean? He goes, I feel like you're purposely messing up, getting out of your lane, seeing if I'll discipline you. Do you think I'm scared to discipline you? You think I won't move on you? No, I know you will, bro. I was like, what do you want me to say? He's like, dude, why would you go there and do that? I was like, I don't know. I just feel like playing a little pinochle. He's like, I have to do something. I have to do something to you. So it's my idea. I said, well, just break me off 123 burpees, man. Although the household burpees. He's like, all right. He's like, bro, but kick back. This is when I started to come out of it. I started to get a little bit normal. After that, I was like, whoa, I messed up. And I did go do 123 burpees for the house. He had another skinhead doing with me. Had a sound off when I was done. In that point, I started to come out of it a little bit. Then I ended up getting this other celly. He was a Southsider. But the trip about him, though, is he came in, he'd been doing good for like 5 or 6 years. He was working, he got married and had a kid. And so all of his gangbanger tattoos, the 13, the hood he was from, he covered them all up. And he showed that to me right off the bat. He comes in, he's like, yeah, man, I cleaned up my life. You know, I'm doing good. I even covered up all my gangbanger tattoos, the hood and everything. I was like, dang, I didn't know you do that. No one was tripping on him. He's like, I don't want no part of the politics. I'm going to come in here, I'm just going to lay down and lick my nuts. I ain't tripping on nothing. So the dude who had the keys for the pod was this young Southsider. It was the first time he's ever been in there. He's like an 18-year-old kid, but he was getting life for some kind of gang murder type thing. That's probably why they gave him the pod. He had a lot of respect coming. Whatever crime he did really elevated his status. So he had the whole thing. One thing about it, though, man, they don't really trip on the paperwork right there in D-Pod. They don't really ask for it because how the county jail is set up, they won't send you into a pod like that with funny charges. Now, when you come in, you do get a gold piece of paper, have your charges on it. You'll have in your pocket, they let you roll in with it. Everyone has it. But like I said, they don't come checking for it, because if you come in for like a rape or something weird, the cop's going to see that charge, and they're not even going to send you that pod. So why go around asking for paperwork? We know everyone in there is straight. The only way you'd be out of line, maybe have ass whipping coming, is if maybe you had bad paperwork from before, and this time you came in, your stuff was good, but someone remembered you from before, or maybe you're a rat, snitch, someone has some paperwork on you like that. But as far as your current charges, they're going to be good when you roll into that pod. Otherwise, cops wouldn't put you in there. But this young Southsider dude was so high power that he was checking everyone's gold paperwork. So I'm sitting in there, and I get this new celly. And like I said, he had his gang tattoos covered up. And the dude who had the pod for the Southsiders comes up and said, hey, let me see your gold piece of paperwork. So he slides it to him. They're talking, and they're whispering real low. And I'm kicking back over there, and I'm just kind of trying to ear hustle a little bit because it's making me suspicious how they're whispering. I'm like, what the fuck are they talking about, me or what? Sure enough, the Southside dude who had the pod told my new cell, he goes, look, man, Splinter's crazy. Don't talk to him. Don't deal with him. To have him on the shine, don't fuck with him at all. Dude's crazy. So my new cell, he tells me that. He goes, hey, man, this is what he said, and you're crazy and all that shit. Pissed me off, man. I was mad as fuck. Don't come talk about me like that. Don't talk behind my back to my new celly, trying to say that I'm this or that. Crazy, fuck that. I got pissed off. I said, I'm going to go confront that dude. New celly's like, I don't care. So as soon as my unlocks, how they have it set up, they only let 4 or 5 cells out at a time. You know, on different unlocks. So my cell wasn't out on the day room same time that dude was. So when our doors cracked and I had day room, I went right up to his cell. He was sitting on the top rack reading a book. I go, hey, dude. I go, hey, come here, man. I want to talk to you real quick. He's like, no, I'm not coming to the door. I can't right now. I go, no, I want to talk to you. I said, come here, dude. And I was aggressive, kind of. He's like, no, I hurt my leg, dude. I can't come down right now because my leg's messed up. I said, what'd you tell my celly? He's like, I'll talk to you later. I said, no, come talk to me now. I was getting a little bit rude, a little bit out of line, and had I not been out of my mind, like I said, I would have been more respectful. It would never happen, actually, if I wasn't out of my mind, so he would have never said that about me. But I was a little more disrespectful than I should have been, and anyways, but I was pissed off. So I was like, come talk to me right now. I'm not getting down my leg. And I'm not trying to say he was bitching out and he was scared of me. He wasn't. I just think he didn't want to come talk to me because he didn't want me to say something we'd both regret. Because if he'd come to the door and I'd been like, hey man, fuck you, don't ever talk about me like that, he would have handled it. It would have been a riot between it was Southsiders. It got ugly. So he just avoided me. He never did come to my cell. We never did talk about it. I ended up snapping out of it. I remember one day I was laying in my bed, and just boom, I was myself again. And I laid there for like 20 minutes, just thanking God, going, man, I am so grateful. I'm so glad that I'm not like that no more, because I was seriously clearly out of my mind, doing all kinds of crazy shit, didn't know where I was. I just gave you guys a little taste of how off the hook I was. All bad. But came back from it. Like I said, I don't know if it was the pills I was coming off of, the wreck, or whatever. But I got a little time. I'm trying to cram one more little story in that kind of goes along with all this. So, I ended up going to Corcoran. From there, I got an 8-month violation from that wreck. I'm at Corcoran. I bump into a dude that I've known since I was a kid. And I was 18 years old. No, Odell. I used to give this dude rides. He's one of the first 3 strikers in Bakersfield, in Kern County. He got 3 strikes, 25 to life, for a quarter gram of crank that they found in his pocket. And they pulled him over. Kept offering him 4 years. It's like, no, I'm not taking the 4 years. I'm not taking the 4 years. He wanted a drug program. Like, all right, you don't want 4 years? Fuck it. How about this 25 to life? 3 strikes. He's doing life. So I bump into him when I'm coming back from Arizona. He was leaving Ironwood. I did a layover at Ironwood. We both been to Kern Valley. We recognized each other immediately. It's like, hey, what's up, dog? So we're at Kern Valley together. Programming. He's a good, solid dude. He's hitting weed. We're hanging out and talking. Kicking it, chilling. I get out. I'm only out for a little bit. And that's when I come back and go to Corcoran. I bump into him again at Corcoran. It's like, hey, what's up, dog? Like I said, he hits weed. He brought me off some weed. And we're chilling. We're homeboys. Now he's like, well, what'd you do out there? What's going on? I explained how I had a house, and homeboy was living in it, and I told him homeboy's name. He's like, dude, that's a fucking real good friend of mine. That's my dog. I was like, yeah, he's living in my pad. He's like, oh, man, I'd love to talk to him. I said, well, don't trip. So I called him up. The dude was in my pad, the homeboy, the older Southsider guy. And I said, hey, I'm here at Corcoran and talking to this homeboy, and he says you guys are real good dogs. He's like, oh, yeah, that is my partner. He goes, yeah, you can get my number, have him call. Long story short, I tell this dude his number. Sends his old lady over there, gets an ounce of heroin. Gonna bring it in. I found out about this, like, instantly, I'm all over it. I'm on it like a bum on a bologna sandwich. Like, well, shit, separate yours from mine, homie. I know I got something coming. Not only did I make the connection, the shit's coming from my motherfucking house. What do I get out of it? I was supposed to get a quarter piece. So I'm like, cool, man, this is really good. It's gonna work out good. Because I owed this debt, too, that was kind of hanging. What happened, I've seen it happen so many times. Your people will be taking care of your debts. You'll be doing dope. The money will be hitting. You get short to the pad. Your people want to cut you off. You get a couple weeks to the pad. They're like, no, we're not doing no more dope debts. You need to sober up because you're coming home. We're not paying no more debts. A lot of times when they cut you off, though, you have hanging debts. It's like, okay, cut me off after you pay the shit that I've already gotten. You can't cut me off like, no, I already owe. So that's what my people are trying to do to me. They're cutting me off, and they're not paying this one last debt. I'll just do $100. He was a lifer, a black dude from Bakersfield. The thing about him, though, he served the dinner. And he kept calling every day to see if that money landed, and it wasn't landing. So at dinner time, I'd be waiting for him to come, give me the dinner, my stomach in knots. I'd be like, wanting to look. Hopefully he'd be like, yeah, dog, money landed, it's all good. But he'd be like, when it came to myself, money's not there, and he's getting pissed. Plus, how the deal was, I was getting 3 50s for $100. He only gave me one of the 50s. When my 100 landed, he was going to give me the other 250 papers. So I was looking forward to getting that dope, obviously. And then plus, I had to have the money land for him. So cool. Homeboy's going to bring an ounce in. I'm going to get a fucking quarter piece out of it. I could pay the homeboy who serves dinner. He ain't gonna be tripping no more. Get everything squared away. But what happened was, this fool comes in. He had already hit weed. He was hitting weed every weekend. What he did, he said that when he came back from visit and he got on the toilet to get the drugs out, that he felt something come out of him, plop in the water, and he grabbed it, and he thought only one clavo fell out, but they both fell out. So he reaches in there and grabs the weed out of the toilet, flushes, both clavos came out. He says, do I know if that happened? No, I don't know. I know the dudes on the yard were pissed off. No one believed that shit. Fell on me. They thought I was in on it. People pulled me aside like, dude, do you really think he flushed that ounce? I was like, that's what he said, man. I don't know. And they were just like really thinking that me and him were in on it. Lied to everybody because he owed a couple debts and I owed a couple debts. And I'm like, nah, you motherfuckers are lying. Totally made me look bad. I was not even in on it. But the way you're supposed to do it anyway, you're supposed to empty all the water out of your toilet, line it full of paper to, hold up. Line it full of paper to catch that clavo. But no, he said he flushed it. Everyone was tripping. Now I'm back to having to deal with that lifer black dude who wants his $100, feeding dinner. Every time he come to my cell, mean mugging. When he's handing me that dinner tray, talking about where's my $100. Finally, I got a hold of my people. I'm like, what in the fuck are you doing? You trying to get me stabbed or what? Like, no, we just want you to sober up. I'm like, yeah, it's all fine and dandy, but you gotta fucking pay this dude, man. So they paid the next day. So then the money landed. I call my people. He's like, yeah, the money landed. But then he starts slow playing me on those 250s I owed him. I guess he figured, no, you slow played me on the 100. I'm going to slow play you on the 250. 250s I owe you. But I was getting out like in a week. So I was telling him, dude, you got to pay me those 250 papers before I leave, man. Oh, I will. Slow playing. Finally, the night before I'm supposed to go home, I'm leaving in the morning, slides it under my door. I'm like, oh, hell yeah. But then my cellie says, nah, dude, you can't do none. Give them both to me. You're getting out tomorrow. People try to play that shit. When you're getting out the next day, they think you should give away your dinner tray. Now, look, I don't parole with TVs, radios, any kind of clothes, CDs. Don't take that type of shit home. I've seen people parole with Walkmans. Come on, dude. Leave that to the homeboy. Go get you another Walkman out there. It's crazy. Don't take that type of shit. But I'm going to eat my last meal. Come on now. I'm going to eat my breakfast. And if someone slides me a 50 paper that night, I'm not going to give it to you just because I'm going to, have heroin on the streets tomorrow. No. I'm going to do this right now. So, that's what happened. My cellie really thought I was going to let him have both of them. But he's my homeboy Eddie from Oildale anyway. Like, oh, dog, you know how we do it? We both got one. Got high, it was all good. I paroled the next morning dirty. Not giving a rip. Absconded anyway. Fuck 'em. I'm gonna cut the string and let this fly. Peace!